Welcome to episode 9 of the Abstract Barcode podcast. I am your host, Christopher, where each and every weekday I bring you the news that you may or may not be aware of and comment and criticize on it to the best and worst of my ability. So without further ado, let's get started. First story comes from foxnews.com. Man burns down parents' house, killing pets while trying to exterminate ants. Is that how you get rid of ants? Just burn it? Just burn it all down? Burning down the house. Let's see. This comes way of the Associated Press on Fox News. And Maine. Article states, Maine State Fire Marshal says a man burned down his parents' house and killed 3 pets while trying to exterminate ants in his basement with matches. Investigators say 21-year-old Devin Ducat was trying to incinerate the ants with wooden matches when one of them ignited combustible materials. The fire quickly spread to the rest of the house. Article goes on to say authorities say the fire killed 2 cats and 1 dog. And there will likely be no charges. Wow. That's kind of sad, but I guess the ant showed him. One comment says, a shame that Devin didn't find ants in his hair. Huh. Another comment says, I wish the pets and that idiot could switch places. Yeah? Another comment, which clearly they did not answer in the article. Did he get the ants? Did he eventually kill them? We don't know. We really do not know. Someone replied saying the ants probably are smarter than him and got away. Another comment. Were they fire ants? This is how fire ants are genetically engineered. Okay. That's interesting. Sad for the pets, but that guy's a dumbass. 21 years old, you should know better than to play with fire and light things on fire when they can run and catch other things on fire. Okay, next story comes from publicdefenders.us. Never heard of this website. Let's see. And the font is so freaking tiny. It says, consolidated court fees ruled unconstitutional in Texas. By Janny.Messely.Wood. Okay. The article states the case of Orlando Salinas versus Texas began 5 years ago. Ultimately, after 5 years and 14 briefs, CCA was held that criminal court costs not related to criminal justice issues are unconstitutional. I don't even know what I'm reading. Okay, screw that. Screw that article. Here's a good one. Comes from cleantechnica.com. China will replace all 67,000 fossil-fueled taxis in Beijing with electric cars. That's pretty smart, because anytime you see pictures of China, or Beijing, I should say, you see fog. And it's not normal water fog, it's exhaust fog. This is by Steve Hanley. The article states taxis are the bane of urban areas. Typically, they are poorly made, poorly maintained, and spew tons of carbon dioxide. Beijing has nearly 70,000 taxis and a problem with smog. Now it has announced a plan to replace all 67,000 fossil-fueled taxis in the city with electric cars. The changeover will not happen right away. The project is expected to cost taxi operators over $1 billion before it's complete. China is paying the price for its rapid economic expansion. During the recent Olympic Games in Beijing, it ordered many factories to shut down for weeks and banned buses and vehicles from its streets. The study in 2015 found air pollution was responsible for up to 4,000 premature deaths a day throughout China. A day. Whoa, holy crap. It's like, hey, how'd you die? Oh, I just lived there. Yeah. I didn't get hit by a car. No one killed me. I just lived in Beijing. Oh, well, that sucks. I died by a gunshot wound. Oh, I bet you saw that coming. Yeah. Wouldn't that suck? Just to die because of where you live? The plan to electrify Beijing's taxi fleet has one drawback, however, the article says. There are not enough charging stations for hundreds of electric taxis already in service in the capital city. Drivers often have to wait hours to get access to the charger. Make more chargers. I mean, wouldn't that be a good solution? Comments. Let's see what the comments are. One says, it's even crazier with their buses. China put 100,000 fully electric buses on the road in 2016. And they're going to beat that in 2017. China doesn't mess around. Another comment in regards to that first one says, authoritarian one-party government does have its advantages. Ooh, here's one. I wish we could have a space race type thing with China over clean energy. It'd be much more motivating for both of us. Good point. Another comment says the U.S. already lost. The Sputnik moment may be when China's CO2 emissions fall below the United States again. Should be about 2024 or so. Okay, next story. Oh, this is good. Well, not what he did, but dumbass, basically. Comes from myfox8.com. Man accidentally confesses to rape during police job interview. I guess he was doing his job, you know, he found the bad guy himself, literally. This is by, it says web staff. Let's see what that links to. Web staff. They don't want to give credit to anyone. That's funny. Comes from West Virginia. A 21-year-old West Virginia man was charged with sexual assault after he admitted to a date rape while interviewing for a probationary police officer position. During a pre-employment interview, this person confessed to an officer that he had sex with a woman after going out drinking and recorded the encounter on his phone. During an interview with the woman, police learned she did not consent to the sexual encounter and had no knowledge of a recording. This person contacted the woman after the this man contacted the woman after the interview and confessed to the crime, police say. He's being held in a local jail on $25,000 bond. Dumbass. I mean, there's no other way around it. Dumbass is the best definition of that. Not that he confessed to it, but that he did it in the first place. Let's see. Top comment says, when I was interviewing at a detachment, while I was going to talk to a constable in his office, I noticed a girl being walked out in handcuffs. He looked at me and said, if you've ever done a serious crime, I recommend you say nothing and walk out now. He told me that while she was having her interview, they had asked her if she was associated with any criminals. She decided to tell them that she had known some people who robbed a bank 10 years ago. But she wasn't involved because she just picked them up from the bank and drove them to a buddy's car. Apparently, she didn't realize that being the getaway driver for a bank robbery was a crime and confessed to it on tape in the police station. And sadly for her, there's no statute of limitations in Canada. I can't imagine going from a job interview to possibly spending 5 years in jail. That's funny. Wow. Another comment. I hate when I accidentally confess to rape in my job interviews. Those interviewers can be tricky, and it's so easy to get confused when I'm under pressure. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully not doing 15 years for that crime I committed. Wow. Okay, next story comes from news3lv.com. I guess Las Vegas, Let's see. It's got the weather up top, 76 degrees. Yep, Las Vegas. Suspect killed after Northwest Valley home invasion identified. Let's see. This is by Faith Jesse. Took place in Las Vegas. A man shot and killed a home invasion suspect Monday night at a Las Vegas Valley residence. The Clark County Coroner's Office identified the man killed as 20-year-old Isaac, I can't even pronounce that. His official cause of death was multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner was ruled a homicide. The shooting just before 10:30 p.m. Monday on, I'm not going to say the location. Police say 2 men broke into a home and tied up a man and woman who were inside. The man got loose, grabbed a gun, and started shooting the suspects. Well, that's what's going to happen if the person who owns the house gets loose. One suspect died at the house, the other escaped. Article goes on. Let's see. The second suspect checked in at the hospital with a gunshot wound and is facing several charges, including attempted murder and kidnapping. The woman who was in the home was also taken to the hospital, but it's unclear who shot her. But they claim both suspects were armed. Wouldn't that be funny if the husband shot his wife on accident? He would never, ever live that down. But yeah, don't go into someone's house and I mean, if you go into someone's house, expect to get shot. Just saying that. You never know what's in the house. or who's in the house. Top comment, pro tip, do not conduct a home invasion robbery a mile or so away from, quote, farm road. Pretty much everyone who lives near any farm road is going to have lots of guns. True that. Another comment. Let's see. Another comment says, can they charge the second suspect with felony murder since his friend was killed? That would be the icing on the cake to an already happy ending. And apparently they can, says another comment under NRS 200.030, whatever that is. Another comment, and when people say you don't need guns, this is why you need guns. When seconds count, the police are only minutes away. Good on him. Next story is about McDonald's. This comes from thehill.com. McDonald's tweets to Trump, you are actually a disgusting excuse of a president, and don't you autoplay you. By Paulina Ferozi. A tweet from the McDonald's corporate account called President Trump, quote, a disgusting excuse of a president, end quote, which the company said was the work of a hacker. I didn't do it. It was him. The tweet, which was briefly pinned to the top of the account before being deleted, mocked Trump and called for the return of former President Obama, which that's not possible. So the fact that they called for the return of the former president, how can you hack into something and not know that a president can't have more than 2 terms legally now? Used to, that wasn't the case, but now. So yeah, I say the guy who ran the account did it, because that's just, yeah. Again, how can you be smart enough to hack into a Twitter account and not know that the president cannot have more than 2 terms? So let's see, the article goes on, quote, at real Donald Trump, you're actually a disgusting excuse of a president, and we would love to have at Barack Obama back. So you have tiny hands. Also, you have tiny hands, end quote, the tweet read. McDonald's later said in a statement that the account was hacked and apologized. Quote, based on our investigation, we have determined that our Twitter account was hacked by an external source. We took swift action to secure it, and we apologize. This tweet was sent through our corporate McDonald's account, end quote, said a spokeswoman for McDonald's. That's still funny. Article goes on to say, Trump was once in a commercial for the fast food giant and has posted images eating McDonald's food on his social media accounts during his campaign. And it shows a video of him with Grimace. That's funny. Yep, like I said, I think it might have been the person who ran the account. Top comment says, in other news, McDonald's is hiring a social media position. In response, yeah, they deleted it and said they were hacked. Another comment, lame, I was going to buy food from them for not being cowards. Another comment, I'm curious to see what the net effects of this actually end up being. If their sales go up, this could be a new trend, but I doubt it. Another comment, can't wait until he tries to call McDonald's a failing company. That's, yeah. Also, you have tiny hands is another comment. Another comment. Note to corporations: don't piss off anyone with access to your official social media accounts, or they might be unintentionally awesome. Response to that, or just be like Wendy's. Their Twitter account claps back, probably slaps back hard. Give someone with a witty voice the freedom to be awesome and rake in the sweet internet points. Okay. Next story comes from jsonline.com. Journal Sentinel. So, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Poverty across Wisconsin reaches highest level in 30 years. By Karen Herzog of the Journal Sentinel. Poverty in Wisconsin hit its highest level in 30 years during the 5-year period ending in 2014. The number of Wisconsin residents living in poverty averaged 13% across the post-recession time frame. The study by Economic Innovation Group found a gap between richest and poorest American found the gap between the richest and poorest American communities widening and ranked Milwaukee the 7th most distressed city in America, with 52% of the population considered economically distressed. Apparently there's a question on the data. A University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee associate professor of economics contacted by the Journal Sentinel questioned the accuracy of the analysis because he believes the 2014 poverty rate Jones used was incorrect and skewed the results higher. So it's just based on some information someone thinks they have. That's great journalism. Article dated 2/25/16. Yep, that's old. Not even going to go further into that. Here we go to a new news article. This one's really interesting, because I can't say I've defaulted on it, but I still owe. This comes from StarTribune.com. Student loan defaults soar as millions miss payments. Never miss a payment on something you owe, people. This is by Danielle Douglas Gabriel, Washington Post. Wait, can I find this on the Washington Post? The Consumer Federation of America released a study Tuesday that found that millions of people had not made a payment on, 137 billion with a B in federal student loans for at least 9 months. Wow. Well, technically, okay, so say my payment's $0 a month. Does that count as making it on time, or that I did not make a payment? Let's see, a 14% increase from a year earlier. A new analysis of federal student loans reveals the number of people severely behind in repaying their debt has soared in the last year, painting a bleak picture of one of the largest government programs. And one day it's going to burst. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. The Consumer Federation of America released a study Tuesday that found that millions of people. What was this? Oh, okay. millions of people had not made a payment on $137 billion in federal student loans for at least 9 months in 2016. 14% increase. You're just saying the same thing twice, literally. Article goes on. What's striking about the findings is that Americans have a variety of repayment options to avoid default. The Obama administration expanded programs that cap monthly payments to a percentage of earnings. But even though millions of people are enrolled in those income-driven plans, there is still a disconnect. Quote, despite a rising stock market and falling unemployment, student loan borrowers are still struggling. End quote, said the senior fellow at CFA and former student loan ombudsman, OMBUDSMAN, at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. Quote, the economy remains very difficult for so many young people just starting out, end quote. Duh. Let's see. This person says some of the blame on colleges doing a poor job of graduating students who take on debt, leaving them with limited prospects of earning enough to repay those loans. He also cited accreditation agencies and the education department who failed to hold those schools accountable. Nearly half of outstanding debt in default comes from the old bank-based federal lending program known as Federal Family Education Loan, FFEL. There has been a fairly steady increase in the total amount of past due debt in the program. Oh, here we go. The average amount owed per federal student loan borrower at $30,000 has climbed 17% since the end of 2013. According to the study. Quote, more than 1 million people defaulted last year, and most of that could have been prevented by loan servicers. Wow. Too many of them put their own bottom line before the best interest of borrowers. End quote. See what some of these comments say. One comment says, my son is paying back his graduate loan, as he should and will. Well, duh. I have a problem with the interest rate at 6%. His undergraduate loans will consolidate for 2% or less. No excessive interest should be charged. Why am I yawning? No. No excessive interest should be charged if we want our kids to be educated. I mean, there needs to be better education on being educated at college. Another comment, the students come out of college, if they graduate, and get jobs serving coffee at Starbucks. Meanwhile, 650,000... that's just... can see where their views are. Okay, so this person says the students come out of college if they graduate and get jobs serving coffee at Starbucks. Meanwhile, 650,000 plus H-1B visa workers are getting the jobs that Americans should be doing. Shut the H-1B down. Okay, so take that comment right there. They basically took their opinion and shoved it into the article to twist it. Okay, so yes, people come out of college and get jobs at Starbucks. Okay? So, how is that the result of visa workers? It's just a blanket statement they put out there. No explanation, It's just they're trying to fuel their own fire. Let's see. Another comment. Pay your bills. Nobody owes you a thing. Period. End of discussion. That is very true. That is very true. Another comment. Just the other day, there was an article about how there are no pilots to fly the regional flights to smaller cities because pay is so poor. Now, don't say military because most new military pilots are flying UAS now, and that does not count for flight experience. Another comment, another Obama government mess. This has been going on for a while. I don't think you can blame just one president. Yeah, okay, here's another comment to that. Obama was president when government-backed student loans started in 1958. Yeah, so people are throwing their own political opinions into this and not really digging down into why people are defaulting. Another comment. I get it. It costs a lot to go to college, but don't choose McAllister with a tuition of $62,000 a year, while UM costs $14,000 a year if you can't afford it. And there's nothing in life that says you have to go to college. You don't have to. Save that money if you need to. Don't spend it if you don't have it. Or don't spend it if you don't want to pay it back. Another comment. Garnish any future wages. So tired of the snowflake generation wanting everything for nothing. Someone responded to that saying, so tired of the older generation fleecing the younger generation to support their social security because they lack any other savings. Again, people are just attacking each other here and throwing their own political opinions in. People aren't even really talking about why people are defaulting. One person is smart, people are stupid. Plain and simple. I think I'm going to end it there for today. You got a dumbass who burned down a house, and you got people arguing in a comment section that's about student loan defaults and not why. And just throwing their own opinions out there about other things such as politics and other generations. I wish people were nicer to each other. I guess it's the anonymity you get online in comment section. No one knows who you're talking to. This is... Yeah, okay. It just goes on and on and on in the comment section. Let me see. Someone says, I went to college in 1979. Every single person I knew had a student loan to pay for college, and most of them had a part-time job through part or all of college. Yeah, but it was a different time back then. That's what people got to realize. Times have changed. A card back in 1979, I believe, costed about $7,000. I think. Let's see. Yeah, so $6,847 generally. So yeah, I mean, times have changed. Now I know that because I know a 1979 Camaro used to cost about $7,000 back then. I think, even though I wasn't born back then. People need to do research. No one researches anything anymore. Okay, we're going to end there. So, until next time, good night and good luck. And take care.